Okay, so today I got a little bit antsy and I pulled it out of the garage just to, just to see firsthand how low it's going to sit in the front and in the rear. And it's got a slight little rake in the rear, which, I don't mind. It could be partially attributed to the fact that I got bigger tires in the back, but for the most part it looks pretty sweet sitting there. One thing is the front isn't aired out all the way because, see if you can see in there. Yeah, you see my exhaust header? That thing is sitting on the ground, so until I redo my exhaust I can't really go any lower in the front. But right now, man, the thing looks, other than the fact that the bed's not on it, the thing looks pretty fucking tough. So yeah. Pulled out of the garage just to see how it looked, and B, I wanted to sweep everything because my garage is getting destroyed throughout this whole process. And another thing is this truck's getting a pretty thick layer of funk on it as far as the dust and whatnot, so might as well take a couple minutes to hose it down and then pull it back in and keep going on the, like I said, I still got to do the brake lines, paint everything, put shocks on the rear. I still got to plumb, and I still got to order tanks and valves and all that sort of shit, but yeah, just putting in the steps. Dude, that looks awesome. That's the look right there, man. Don't mind these holes in my doors. It had a 3-point towing mirrors on it at one point in time. I ain't doing the body work on it just yet. I'm going to try to get the drive line and the suspension and all that other shit good to go, and then who knows. I kind of enjoy it the way it is. The body not being all perfect and the paint being kind of ragged, and I can actually drive it and not worry about little rock chips and scratches and people leaning on it and all that sort of shit. So it is what it is, but man, I can't wait to get the bed back on this sucker and see how it's really sitting. And in the meantime, like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I could still get another inch or so of drop out of that just by adding some more blocks and longer U-bolts. So yeah, it's coming along. So I'm gonna hose it off, keep cleaning out my garage because right now it's a fucking disaster area. And yeah, man, just keep on keeping on, keep on rocking in the free world, keep on laying frame in the free world. Hell yeah. Alright, y'all. Hey guys, so today I attacked this thing with a wire wheel on my grinder and pretty much knocked all the heavy, scaly, really thick rust deposits off, and just cleaned all the arms, the lower trailing arms, and up the best I could. And now I'm just, I got this, these notch plates and the inside box plates. I use primer on those because it's bare metal. And now I'm just go ahead and I'm brushing some paint on it, so the next time you see it, it'll be all shiny and black. Then it'll be time for the brake lines. Okay, you guys, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, closer to 5:30 now. But I'm done painting, and it turned out pretty good. Still pretty tacky, but man, it looks a hell of a lot better than it did. So just wait for it to dry and then start piecing her back together. Alright guys, so now the paint's dry on the frame, so now I'm running the new, pretty much just rerunning the brake lines on it just to make them look a little nicer. And all I did was bought this big old coil of brake line, and it's not as hard as it sounds. It's just bending them, forming them, and then flaring them and hooking them up and bleeding them. So when that's done, it'll pretty much be time to put this sucker back together. Okay guys, so I finally got all my brake lines ran all new lines, both sides, plumbed them really nice. I got them bled the other night. Shout out to my buddy Nick for helping me bleed them. And I painted the frame, but started thinking about it and I got a little bit ahead of myself. So what I'm actually doing now is, I'm sure if you guys have been following along, you guys are aware that I need to redo my exhaust because A, my headers are way too low, and B, the exhaust runs underneath the frame of the truck. Well, I'm trying to make this thing lay frame, so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting out these just 3-inch pieces of square pipe. And what I'm doing here, you can kind of see I got one of them in. That cross member there where the trailing arms bolt to and the drive shaft goes through, you can see on this side I haven't cut it yet. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting holes in this cross member there, and I'm welding in these 3-inch squares. So when I get my exhaust redone, I can just simply you know, pass the exhaust through there and tuck it up underneath the cab of the truck, and that way it's not hanging beneath the frame. So once I get my new headers and my exhaust and everything, everything will be tucked nice and neatly underneath the truck, and I don't have to worry about it hanging and snagging on shit as I'm driving low. Because right now, you know, if I just left my exhaust the way it was, I'd be pretty limited on how low I could actually drive the thing, because like I said, the headers are like 4 inches beneath the frame rail right now. So new exhaust will get done, and that'll help that out quite a bit. So like I said, I got this one done. Just got to jump over here to this side. I did this side first because fuel lines and shit are dangling beneath it or above it. So I figured if I was gonna blow up doing this, might as well do the hard side first. That's why I got some water, got my fire extinguisher. Safety first, man. You know, you don't want to come this far and then burn the thing down. So, all right, moving on from there. Gonna do the other side. All right, you guys. So I got my exhaust cutouts pretty much done. Just gotta hit them up with some paint. And now I'm gonna move on to pretty much making a mount for my air tank. And I'm thinking my air tank's gonna go somewhere in this here vicinity. For now anyways. I may decide to relocate it down the road, because one of the things I wanted to do is relocate the gas tank, which is behind the cab, to back here. But you know, that'll be another day, another project. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna make a quick simple tank mount here, and I've already come up with where I'm gonna put my compressor. I'm pretty much just going to mount my compressor inboard of this frame rail. So you know, you won't be able to see it from the outside, but it'll be tucked and hidden in there. And one thing you got to remember when you're doing this type of shit, because I already screwed up and I ain't ashamed to admit it. You know, when you're making like another cross member or mounting your compressors or valves or what have you, you got to remember you still got to put the bed back on it. So I initially mounted my compressor right here, and then I realized, oh shit, bed bolt goes straight through that hole, so that ain't gonna work like yet. So I just simply moved it forward another inch, so now it'll clear. But yeah, just take little things into consideration as you go, and remember you still got to put the bed back on. So yeah, tank mount coming right up. So this is the tank I plan on using. It's just simply a 3-gallon tank. It's about 7 inches diameter and about 20 3/4 inches long, and about, I don't know, maybe 12 inches tall, but whatever. Now I got to come up with a place to mount this thing, and what I'm gonna do here is, as you can see here, the frame already has this like cross member going in between there, which I don't know what the hell it's for or was for. I don't know if it was for maybe a spare tire or something back in the day or whatever, but there's nothing there now, and this thing is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this my tank mount, and how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take some of this 1/8-inch plate, make it roughly, you know, the length and width of the feet of the tank, drill some holes, and then I'm going to weld those to that cross member, and that will be our tank mount. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out real quick. Okay, you guys, so I got the mounting tabs for the tank cut out, and I got them drilled out, and I got this thing clamped into place right now, and I don't like it. I'm gonna be straight up with you, I don't like it. See how flimsy that thing is? That thing, that's just too fucking flimsy. So change of plans. I'm gonna cut this fucking thing out and make a new one. So let's get going on that. Okay, so I got that flimsy piece of shit the hell out of there, and it was just a matter of drilling out a couple of rivets and knocking it out. And now I'm going to make a new one of these pretty much out of some 1-inch square tubing. So let me get started on that now. Okay, so the tank mount is done, and it's a hell of a lot more sturdy than that last piece of crap that was in there. And now it's pretty much just a simple bolt-in application, so it'd be easy to just pull it out, paint it, and then put it all back together. So moving along. Okay, so when I left you guys the last time, we had just finished this tank mount. What I'm doing now actually is just kind of mocking everything into place. I got my compressor mounted where I plan on mounting it, tucked nice and neatly inside the frame rail. So once the bed's back on it, you won't see a compressor hanging and dangling beneath it or whatever. Same with the tank. But yeah, just kind of plotting everything out and making a mental list of fittings and shit that I'm going to need for this. And the other night I kind of got bored and started to run some of the wiring. I had to tidy up some of the taillight wiring because down underneath the cab some of the taillight wiring was kind of chewed up. And so I figured while I was doing that I might as well take a few moments to I ran the power wire to the compressor, and I ran this. This is going to be for my pressure switch for my compressor. That way when it reaches a certain pressure in the tank, like I think it's a 175 pressure switch, when it hits 175, the compressor will shut right off. Granted, I'll have a switch inside the cab to control the on-off of the compressor, but I figure why not put one of them safety switches in there just for safety reasons, So yeah, I ordered my valves this afternoon. I ended up going with electric valves because I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews on the manual valves. Some people say they're awesome and they work great, and some people say that they leaked right out of the fucking box. So I've been doing this shit for many years, and I've done quite a few air ride setups, and I've never really had an issue with electric valves. And so I'm just going to rock the 3/8 SMC electric valves that I ordered. And also a plus side to having the electric valves is when it comes to running stuff in and out of the cab, it's just a matter of running some wires. If I would have went with that manual valve setup, I would have had to run each individual line for the bag and a feed line and an exhaust line into the cab. So that would have been six lines I would have had to run into the cab. So yeah, either way. But most people use the electric valves, and when it comes time to actually plumb and wire the electric valves, I'll be able to show you guys how that's all done, and and then we'll move on from there. We're getting close, you guys. Like I said, we're nearing the final stages. Pretty much just got to get my valves, gotta finish wiring, gotta plumb the system, put shocks on it, all that little finalize. We're at the stage in the build where we're all the fab work is done. We just got to plumb and wire the system, and then do some finalizing, like I got to put shocks on it and all that sort of shit. So yeah, man, we're cruising. So yeah, stay tuned, you guys. We're getting close, real close. Hopefully my valves show up this week. I just ordered them today, and we'll see how long it takes. Hopefully they're here. Fuck, I wish they would be here tomorrow. I already got all the fittings and everything I need, so once they show up, man, it's time to get down. So thanks for watching, you guys, and like I said, just stay tuned, and we'll go ahead and get this sucker plumbed up.